I hope everyone's been having a good Christmas, New Year's. I kind of went incognito for about a month now. Social media I haven't really been on and haven't done a lot of fun Fridays just because, man, it's been just life's been crazy. So I actually had COVID what right before Christmas, and took me, I was pretty sick for like 3 days, but I kept my distance from everybody. I actually kept working every day, but just stayed out on the farm away from everybody, cleaning out ponds and just, social distancing. But, you know, took me, out of the office for a week and allowed me to get caught up on, outside work. So, which I prefer doing anyways. I know a lot of y'all probably see me answering emails lately and helping out, but I'm a lot better performer when I'm working with the fish. So hope everybody's been doing good. We've been December was just a month that I would like to forget with the holidays, the way they fell, and coming out of the Black Friday sale, not being able to ship because of the extreme cold. It was a logistical nightmare, it really was. But we got through it. The weather's been good. We've been shipping out, pretty much everywhere. There's a few states that, it's been very cold, but we've been kind of getting back to normal. This past week, we couldn't ship because UPS was not moving packages the Monday after New Year's, so kind of put us behind a little bit. But I think by Monday everything will be caught up. So feel free, to place orders and know that they'll ship out, in a timely fashion going forward. We got a lot of new fish in. Right after the Black Friday sale, we brought in a big shipment from Indo. I know I showed everybody a lot of those fish. As you know, we don't like bring fish in and turn around and start selling them. So a lot of those fish have been just getting nicer and nicer in our tanks. And I did not want to rush and put those up on the website because of the cold weather we were having. Most of you are very understanding about, hey, I understand you holding our order because of the cold weather. But some people are like, I don't care that it's cold, why are you holding my order, So we held off on putting a lot of new items. We kind of let inventory run down low. So you're going to be seeing a lot more items go back up in stock. So it's very important, that out of stock notification. Like if you sign up for it, as soon as we put them back in stock, you're going to get notified. That's really the only kind of waiting list that we have. So, and then also the new arrival section on the website, anything that we put up on the website that was out of inventory, it's going to go into that new arrival section also. So, you could just click on that new arrival section on the front page of the website, and that's going to show you all the new stuff that's coming in. So we're going to be working really hard today to get a lot of stuff up, and then also next week we're going to keep doing it. So because we got over 1,000 tanks, full of fish back here, and a lot of them aren't up on the website, but they're going to be going up really soon. Before I go into the comments, because I see a lot of them popping up, that screenshot that I showed you on this thumbnail for this video is the Royal Farewellas that we brought in from Colombia, and they blend right into the wood. So let me see if I can get close enough. We don't have any of them for sale, but that's because I kept them because they look really, really nice. And I got them in this big planted tank with the cardinal tetras. They're looking really nice. I really like them. You can see one back there in the back. I mean, they got huge long trailers. Below him, we have a L519, which is a new bushy nose plico that's really, really popular in the hobby right now. They're not very many available, so I'm excited to have those, and I'm going to end up setting up some breeding caves in this tank and trying to breed them inside this tank. Plus I've got some saved down in our breeding area that are getting close to breeding size. So really excited about starting to breed that new bushy nose. It's they hide a lot though. Like you know, a lot of the other bushies will come out. Like I'm trying to find one for you to see if I can get it in. There's one underneath that piece of driftwood right there. You see him back there, but it looks like the honeycomb with the pattern, the honeycomb bushy nose. See if I can see any. Nah, I can't see none out there. Um, so, you know, really excited about those. We also got the honeycomb bushy nose that we're growing up. That's another new wild type bushy nose that's been really popular in the hobby. Excited about that. I finally got some snow white bushy nose. I mean, they're just juveniles, but those guys are, you know, future breeders. You know, if you guys have seen those, that's another new man-made variant of the bushy nose that's become real popular. Excited about. All the bushy nose are just really perfect tank fish. They do a great job cleaning. They don't get too big. Like for example, since I added those L519 plecos in this tank, they are keeping this tank just polished on the inside. And then if you look in this tank, I have the big luteus, and then I have a green phantom in there, and these guys are not keeping up with the algae. So I'm going to end up adding. I haven't decided which one. You can see it all growing on the side here, and you can see the green phantom. You know, he's actually one that came in from a shipment, and his top fin was damaged during shipping, so we could not sell him. So we put him in here, and it looks like it's growing back. I do think, you know, he'll back up, but there might be some permanent damage, you know, unfortunately, from those top fins that were broken during shipment. The Jurapari bred for us about 3 weeks ago. We got about 150 babies from the parents. So that's exciting. What else do we have? I added 2 of the Hecali thread fins to this tank, and we have a local breeder that breeds them, but this was a pair. We could tell, and I'm like, you know what? They're such beautiful fish. Let's put 2 of them in the show tank and grow them up, and we'll have a really nice picture of an adult male and maybe some videos of them breeding in this tank. So excited about this tank. And then we have our Tanganyikan tank, the Frontosas. I ended up draining this tank down and removing some of the extra males that were in here, because we had like 3 other really big males that were they were fighting all the time. They weren't killing each other. There was still plenty of room in the tank. But for breeding purposes, you know, we would like to have like 2 males and ideally like 8 females. So we ended up taking some of those extra males out. And I think next week I'm gonna try to make time to build some rock structures in the tank, and I'm gonna start adding some other Tanganyikan types. The problem is it's got to be something big enough that the Frontosas won't try to swallow them. Like I ended up adding these boops in the tank last week, and that male's starting to color up nicely. One thing I know about the boops is the males are extremely territorial. So, you know, there's actually another male over here, and you can see he is showing absolutely no color because the dominant one is kind of bossing the tank. But by having them in this size tank, the males are able to get away from each other and, you know, do really good. And they're big enough that the Frontosas leave them alone. So excited about the future of that tank, because we're going to be adding some other Tanganyikans. We're going to have a community Tanganyikan tank set up. Here's some of the other males that I took out. We haven't decided. I know we're going to sell them, but I really don't like selling big fish and shipping them. So I don't know if we're going to end up offering these guys locally, you know, so they don't have to go through the shipping process. You see that one hiding in the cave there. But there's 3 extra big males. So if somebody watches this video and they're interested in getting a big male Frontosa, we can look at the shipping possibility of that and getting it shipped out. We can't ship them, but they're just big fish that take up a lot of space and take up a lot of water. And as you guys probably know, the shipping with UPS overnight is very expensive. So, that's one reason we like shipping fish that, don't take up a lot of box space and, water weight. So this is a new Madagascar that we got. Parathaps Mako. This was a new fish to me. I'd only seen them in pictures, but a local person that is breeding a lot of new rare stuff brought those in and started breeding them. So we're still waiting to get a picture of them, but we should have that pretty soon. And once we do, we're going to have these guys listed on the website. Here's some of the adults. They actually were in the same tank, two bigger ones, and they just beat each other up really bad. So we ended up having to put a divider in the tank to keep them from fighting. But a really cool and colorful fish. You can see that guy in the back, but like I said, they're still recovering. They were fighting really bad, so we had to put them under medication and get them healthy. I'm going to set this camera up on a tank and then go through some of these comments. We added the Black Widow frontosas. That's I think I actually used that when I posted in the Facebook group earlier. This is some new genetics. These actually came from a friend of mine in Indonesia that breeds them. And really nice size and really nice barring. So really excited about these guys. They're, bigger than what we normally have available. They're more like 2 to 3 inches. So if somebody's looking at setting up a bigger, tank for frontosas, these are really cool man-made variants. So what else we got? Of course, we got the Burundi 6 stripes. You can see one of the Tretocephalus actually got in with them. I thought it was pretty cool how much he looks just like a frontosa. I know back in the day they called him like the poor man's frontosa because they look just like a frontosa with the barring. But those guys are looking really nice. We got some Uraru, and these are some bigger ones. We are breeding these guys now, and we've got quite a few babies that are almost ready to start selling. I'd say they're like 1.5 inches almost. So we're going to let them get a little bit bigger, but we're going to be offering these guys up really soon. Those guys just came in. All right, let's see. I'm going to set it up on some of these. These are some ones that we saved back for breeders on the Black Widows. So while you guys are watching them, I'm going to go do some of these shout outs. Ahmad, what's up, man? Happy New Year's. So I'm excited about this new year. 2022 is in the past. So Brian P, what's up? Chad, hello. Biggs, what's up, Biggs, man? You need to come down to Florida and get out of that winter wonderland. I know you guys love being in the Arctic, but I know it's been very cold for you guys. So yeah, Daniel, what's up? Yeah, no, I never did stop. I mean, I wasn't nearly as productive when I had COVID, but I know from the past when I would get sick, if, I'm not the type to lay down during the day, and it always makes me feel even worse. I get sicker actually, and because it was in my chest, I'm like, man, I got to keep moving so I don't have any fluid build up. So, all right, I see Biggs is coming to Florida on the 14th. So I'll be here. As far as I know we were talking about making a trip that weekend, but I think as of this morning, we decided to stay in town. So, because that should be next weekend. So message me and let me know your timeline. Oh, actually, I think we've already communicated about this, Biggs. I think I'll have to check back at our emails. So, Harvey Simpson, what's up, Devil Dog? Simplify. That guy Mike, what's up? Caroline, Happy New Year. Oh, Mike, I'll go through the Africans next. Uh, Reyes is asking about the red chili Oscars. So that's the downside, Reyes, is of being like a fish addict like I am, and everybody that works here is like we're obsessed. And like the worst thing is when you're obsessed about fish like we are, and we have access to all these fish, is we become fish hoarders. And unfortunately, that's what's happening with the red chili Oscars. Is we're not selling them. We're going to keep them all, and we're going to grow them up and breed them in house. So in fact, next week, now that our freezing temps that we had a week ago are over, we're going to put them out underneath a covered pond to grow up. And then hoping come springtime, we're going to have them, I'd say by June, they should be almost breeding age, maturity wise. So we're going to be breeding the red chili Oscars. There is a chance that we might bring in another order from that same breeder. And if we do, we'll bring in some more chilies, and those will be available for sale. So, that's the downside. When we see a new fish and we're like, wow, that's a really nice one, we get where we just don't want to sell it. It's like, hey, let's breed it. That's a cool fish. It's actually a problem that we have. we like them all. So anytime we get something exciting, it's like, man, we don't want to sell that fish. Some albino dragon bloods. Let's see. I'm starting to go through some of the Africans. Dragon Lair, hello. Josh Cunningham, what's up, Josh? Man, I hope you're doing good in Michigan. I know we've got some family that lives up there in the Upper Peninsula, and they said it was extremely cold. So hopefully you guys are kind of back to normal. Lynx, hello. Shoha, what's up? Harvey, yeah, we got a good batch of those Black Widows. David, I know I've been communicating with you, David. I think they've got some fish set to the side. Make sure they send you an invoice today to go ahead and set up that order that you've been working on. Gabriel, hello from the Dominican Republic. What's up? I always find that really cool to be reaching people, all over the world. So Caroline's asking about the Corydoras this summer, peppered with long finage. So I think you have to email me a picture to know for sure. It could have been one of the Colombian types. That's where we get most of our Corys. We did get some, if it's a long fin variant, like man-made, I know we got in some Paleatus that were long fin that we ended up selling. I think there was also some greens that were brought in that they sent us some long fin, types with. So got some red shoulder peacocks, another nice man-made variant. That was some that came from our dragon blood strain years ago, and we decided to call them blue dragons, and those have become very popular. Also got in some red dragons from a grow out pond, and actually I think I gotta check, they might be sold. Here's some of the bigger blue dragons. So again, this is a man-made variant. We started selling these as blue dragons a long time ago when we were breeding our regular dragon bloods, and we started getting blue ones, but you could tell that they had like red shoulder peacock type color on them. But you guys can hear me loud and clear. My signal dropped. A Wi-Fi system for the warehouse, set it up, but I set it up in a hurry and the signal is not good yet. Like, I got to figure out what I need to do. So hopefully the next Fun Friday that I do, we'll have a lot better signal for you guys. This is the Malarai Island. So this is like a sunshine. They don't get as much blue in the face. In fact, some of them won't have any blue in the face. They'll be solid yellow. Really stunning fish. These came in to us from Germany. These are some that we have brought in the breeders last year from Germany, and this is like our first batch that we've been selling. They look stunning. I really like those fish. We got some OB Alis. Those guys are starting to show some really good color. We got some blue morai, always a very popular fish. We got some swallowtails. You can see a couple males are getting pinned up in the corner by that bad boy. He's all trying to be the dominant one. So, otter points. We got some of those. You can see a couple of those males are really colored up nicely. Red Nyeri. These guys are looking nice. What else we got? Zebra obliquitans. These guys are looking really nice. I'm not going to show you stuff that's not for sale because that's not right. Got some albino Turkish. These guys are looking really nice. So, another fish that we finally got back in is our lemon jakes. So, one of our most popular fish. We finally got those guys up to size and back in stock. So if you guys are looking for a nice lemon jake, those guys will be back available. What else? This is the firefish, the German line. These guys are not for sale, but those males are looking really nice. Zebra obliquitans. These guys are looking really nice. We got some Lethrinops, Mabasi. A couple of those guys are being really dominant and showing some really good color. So that's some of the Africans. Let's go to, I'll show you the red chilies, not to tease you, but those guys are spectacular. And another one that I like just as much is the black tiger Oscars, because man, they have such a nice pattern on their body that I'm excited to grow those guys up for breeders. All right, so some of the newer fish, we got some blue phantom and those guys are doing really, really well. They're not out of quarantine yet, but talking to Carly yesterday, she's felt like next week we could start selling those guys. We ended up bringing in some wild-caught discus. Those guys are doing really good. Now that we've got our we keep losing the signal, guys. The good news is we're close to getting Wi-Fi for inside the warehouse. So the Cupid cichlids, that's another really nice fish. I like them because they're not aggressive. They don't get too big. Super nice. We brought in Madagascar. We normally bring in, and we've had them for a month, so they're super healthy, super ready for sale. That's one thing we hear a lot of is that people have trouble with Oscars. They're like, I bought some Oscars and they didn't do good. But the problem is that you need to buy Oscars that are, quarantined and taken care of before they're sold to you, because they are notorious for not coming in healthy. That's why it's very important for people that sell the Oscars is to take proper care of them before they sell them, because you won't have any trouble with the clown loaches. So I think I said Oscar, but I'm talking about clown loaches. Finally, to have those guys breeding for us. I think we got enough heat packs for you. So it's I'm gonna step outside because right now I'm on 5G. As you can see, nice sunny day. It was a little chilly this morning, I think down to 46, but a lot better than we were around Christmas time when I had COVID. I mean, we got down to below freezing, and the high for 3 days was I think 45 degrees. So pond temps got really, really cold. That's the downside about, Florida. I know you guys up north might think we're crazy, especially the ones in Winnipeg, whenever we talk about freezing temps, because our freezing temps are nothing like, you guys face, but it's cold enough that the fish from the Amazon and Lake Malawi, they don't like it. So, but I'm gonna walk around, answer some more questions, and then we're gonna wrap it up. So, all right, so Lake Uter and Aves Creek, Daniel. I'll tell you what, I'll walk back in there and see how my signal does, and you could see them. As far as the difference, it's going to be hard to tell at this size. All the location Bozeman have very little difference between them. All right. One thing I know is that I believe it's the Aves Creek. I'll have to go in there and look. The nice thing about them is they color up at a really young age, and they got really nice coloration. So that's one advantage. So let me go in there and look, see how my signal does. I brought in some more brood stock too from the breeder in Indo. So I've actually got some adults of them. So this is the Antinio, and we're going to be offering these males up. So we brought in, quite a few of them, and we really wanted them for new breeding stock. So we kept all the females back, and we kept like a handful of males. So all the extra males from that order we're going to be selling. And then the other one is the Aves Creek. So here's the Aves Creek extra males. All right, and then let's go back to our rainbow section, and I will show you our Aves Creek. I know we have some Aves Creek in right now, so all right, guys, I'm gonna have to step outside and wrap this thing up. So, David, if you're looking for a jewel cichlid, I would recommend the Turkana jewels. Don't get very big, and they're not nearly as aggressive as the other jewel types. So, and they look specular. Like if my signal was better, I would walk over there and show them to you. But hopefully next week, I'll have our Wi-Fi system set up. We ended up getting, I think it's the Google Mesh, version. And once we get that set up, I think we'll have a lot better signal, and you guys could see the fish a lot better than what we've been showing. Shout out to Brittany. If you guys, I'm not on TikTok. I don't even really know much about it, but she's been doing a lot of videos, and those videos also going up on our Facebook page. So Jared also has been doing a lot of the YouTube videos, taking a lot of pictures for us. So, trying to make as many videos and pictures as we can so you guys can see what we're breeding and what the adults look like. Thank you everybody for all the support. So stay warm and be safe out there. So everybody have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you